to concern itself with the Java collections. Let's go ahead and create a new project, a Java project. Give me a main, call it collections. All right, let's start with a list. And I already have one in the clipboard. So a list, and this is a quick way to make a list. Arrays as list, put in the names there, and it will turn that, whatever those parameters into your list. And notice that we're using the interface over here. Names is creating a new array. It's under the covers, it's an array list, but we're using the interface, just a list. I mean, under the covers, it could create an array list, it could create a linked list, it could create some other list, but we don't really care. We're just programming to the interface, which is list. All right, so list has some methods. Let's go look at them. And here's array list. In array list, the interfaces that it implements is list. So now we're looking at the interface list. And if we look at methods, there's things like add, clear, contains, get, remove, size, things like that, sort. So let's start by using, well, something that's nice to do when you are debugging or developing code is just print out the list. Let's run this. And there's our list. Okay. Let's system out what size is names.size. Run that. Size is 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Let's value at 1 is, and we can do names.get 1. And this is 0 base, so we should get Z. We got Z. I wonder if there's a shortcut for run. Yes, there is. All right. Let's see what else we can do here. Let's clear it. And then let's print it out again after clearing. Ooh, unsupported operation exception. Even though that's an API in the interface, the concrete class that's implementing it does not support it. I am wondering this. Yeah. Well, that's good to see. Let's do this array. Let's see if array list string names 2. And let's add some names. So there's an add method, names2.add, and let's add all names that start with D. Doug. Let's add a few more names, and we'll let Doug be double. Diane and David. So you can call add, and let's print it out. Let's print out names 2. There's names too. And I'm wondering if this also doesn't support the clear. Let's run that and see if we get the unsupported exception. No, that's very interesting. All right, I learned something new by doing this. I'm going to print out names too after I clear it. I'm going to say after clearing. Interesting. After clearing, it's empty. All right, you see right there? We printed it out, we cleared, and then after clearing, it's empty. And what happened here is interesting because here we newed up in an array list. And we can even go ahead and continue to use the interface for the left-hand side, run that, and it's all good. Okay, after clearing, it's still empty. But whatever concrete class that implements array list that gets returned from this call to arrays as list does not support that method. And if we go look at that method again, where was it? Clear. Very interesting. Optional operation right there. Optional operation means that whoever the concrete class that implements it doesn't have to implement this to still be, the other methods in the list will not say optional. So interesting that it throws an unsupported operation if the clear operation is not supported by the list. Back to this. I didn't know this until I just did this. The concrete class that this method returns does not support the clear, yet your basic old array list, when you new it up, does support clear. And that's, I hardly ever use this arrays as list, except for like when I'm doing right now, when I want to just demo something and create a quick list instead of going through this, you know, add, right? Okay, so anyhow, we can clear and it's empty. Now, what else can we do? We got the index at 1. We've done a for loop. Have we done a for loop? Let's do a for loop. For string name in names. Sys out the name. There it is. Nice. Now, did all that. The set interface has pretty much the same methods. What's the difference between a set and a list? A list is just an ordered list, and you can have duplicates in there. A set is a list that's not ordered. I wouldn't even call it a list. It's a grouping of things that are not ordered, and there are no duplicates allowed. All right, so let's go look at set real quick. The set interface, which is right here, that's the interface set. It has a lot of the same methods: add, clear, remove, size. Okay, so it has a lot of the same methods, but what's interesting is all of these things, if you look at the constructor, gotta do a real class, a concrete class. We're going to use a hash set. And if we look at the constructor of the hash set, you can pass it any kind of collection, anything that extends collection, which is probably true for any, probably true for list as well. So what we're going to do here is we're going to new up a hash set. We're going to say set of strings, and we're going to call it, I want to call it names again. I'll call it, how about first names? because they are, well, alpha, Z, beta aren't really first names. I guess so. Names 3 equals new hash set. And let's pass it the list. All right, so it's going to take that list, names, not names singular, but name plural. It's going to take that list and it's going to turn it into a set. Okay. Now remember, sets don't allow duplicates. So when we do, let's do a sysout. Let's do a sysout on names 3 dot size, and let's run this. So up here, the size of the list is 6, which we did at line 14 here. We did the size of the list, printed out the size of the list is 6, but the size of the set is 4. Let's make that a little bit clearer. Size of the set is, let's run that. Boom. So the size of the array was 4, but the size of the set is 4. And now let's print out the values of the set. Print out names. And look, what happened was we got rid of the duplicates. There was 2 Z's before, and there were 2 betas before. But notice that they're not in any order or anything, because sets are unordered. Okay, and when we printed out the list, did we do it in alphabetic order? Not really, so it doesn't really matter. Well, when we did the list, alpha was first, and when we print out the set, alpha was second. So you can see that it didn't even keep the ordering of the set when we put of the list when we put it into the set. Alrighty, and then sets, like I said, pretty much have the same methods as lists. They just, like I said for 2 or 3 times now, they're unordered and they do not allow duplicates. So let's move on to a map now. Let's create a new file and we'll do it there. Source, and then new Java class, I'm going to call it main2. And if I type public static void main, it's a little shortcut to create a main. Show you that again. I probably showed you this before. Public static void main is a shortcut to create that. All right, now we're going to do a map. Let's create a map, and you got to put 2 generics of what the key is and what the value is. In this case, we'll say the key is a string and the value is an integer. Okay. And what are we going to do? How about home runs? Home runs equals new, and we'll do a hash map. All right, and instead of add, you have to put because you need 2 values. Home runs dot put John Doe has 3, and we'll add some more. Bobby Blue has 13. Obviously, I don't know any baseball players except from the 70s and the 80s. Cincinnati Reds, back in the 70s, I knew them. Let's see, let's make this a a league with both genders. Let's say Christy, John, son has, oh, she's killing it. She has 55. And Deb, Daniel has 23. Okay, so now we have this. So let's sys out. Of course, let's sys out our home runs. All right, there it is. Bobby Blue 13, Christy Johnson 55, John Doe 3, and Deb Daniel has 23. Now we've seen that we can do what we did before. Sys out sizes runs dot size, of course. We'll run that. Size should be 4. It is. Size is 4, and we can get one using the key. So we can say home runs for John Doe are home runs dot get John Doe. Home runs for John Doe are 3. Great. Now, what's interesting about maps are we have a set of keys and a set of values. So let's do for the key, which is the name, in home runs. And we'll do sys out key, home run, sorry, dot key set. Boom. That returns back the keys as a set. Sys out the key is, all right, so let's look at the keys. The key is Deb Daniel. Key is John Doe. Key is that. Now from the key we can get the value. Value is, and what we do is we take our map and we say get, and we pass the key. Okay. Let's indent this, easier to see. Key is Bobby Blue, value is 13. Key is Christy Johnson, value is 55, etc. Of course, you can just, let's sys out the whole thing and see what it looks like. Oh, we've already done that, haven't we? Yeah, we did, up there on line 18. So that is collections, kind of in a nutshell. You know, the stuff that you do 90% of the time you just saw.